Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to talk about the new foundation that everyone has been trying. People have been literally reviewing this foundation the day they get it, posting the video the day they get it. So people are super excited about this foundation. You guys already know what I'm going to talk about. It's the Fenty Beauty Foundation by Rihanna. I'm so excited to show you guys how this foundation wears throughout the day, how it builds, how it stays put, things like that, so, and how it wears on top of other products. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, please keep watching. I have it in the shade 130 here. This foundation claims to be a pro filter soft matte long wear foundation, has no SPF, so there's no flashback. There are 40 shades, which is crazy. Everyone's saying how crazy it is. There's a shade literally made for everyone. So that's really exciting because for me, sometimes it's hard to find a shade. Sometimes it's too light and too cool, and the next shade is too warm and a little bit too dark. So there's a shade for everyone, which is really cool. And on the website, it claims to be matte long wear foundation with buildable medium to full coverage and a boundary breaking range of shades. What it does, it says finally the ultimate photo filter in foundation form. Born in 40 boundary breaking shades, pro filter soft matte foundation, pretty much what I said, gives the skin an instantly smooth, pore, diffuse, shine free finish that easily builds to medium to full coverage. It's oil free, paraben free, pretty much. It's resistant towards sweat and humidity, and it doesn't clog pores. So this seems like a really 100% cruelty free also, which is awesome for Rihanna. A lot of people loved her for that. I love Rihanna personally. I'm a huge fan, so I had to go out and try this foundation. I was gonna get the primer, the highlighter, and the lip gloss, but I didn't get it on this trip, but I will be getting it next time. I know for sure. I regret not getting it, so I will go back, and I just couldn't wait to film this video. So I wanted to film this video first, and then I'll incorporate the other products in my other videos. So let's get started. I'm gonna be using one of my favorite primers. Is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. I know this primer works for me, so I know it's not gonna like mess up the formula of the foundation, because I know that this is something that already works for me, and I've already moisturized and done my skincare. Okay, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so like I said, I got it in the shade 130. I also got samples of the 120 and 140, but I think 130 will work just fine. They didn't have 120, the one I initially wanted. So I got the 130, but that's just because I really, really want foundation. If the shade doesn't work, I'll just go back and return it when they do have the 120. But I think this is a good shade for me. It's a little bit more yellow, and I'm a little bit more neutral, but I like to look a little bit more yellow anyways, so. Okay, it says shake well, so I'm shaking it. I'm gonna do one side with my Real Techniques beauty sponge and the other half with a brush. So I'm just gonna pump this on the back of my hand. This is a really runny foundation. Kind of reminds me of the NARS All Day Luminous foundation. Okay, so right off the bat, this is pretty yellow for me. Okay, so definitely not the shade, but the formula already covered a pretty good amount of my like acne scars. It didn't cover like my pimple, which you could see right here, but it did cover my acne scars, which is good. Doesn't feel like I have anything on. I think that was 2 pumps, or like 1.5, or 1 full one, I can't remember. But that really covered a really good amount. And it feels really, really thin. It's just the color is very yellow. So I'll have to get a new shade, unfortunately. So that's what the side with the sponge looks like. I'll zoom you in a little bit. I mean, you could still see like my texture because I have texture right around here. But as you can see, it's not sticking to like any patches I have. Any dry patches. Also, guys, please don't mind my nails. I've been biting them off like crazy. I think I'm gonna have to get acrylics again, but we'll see. Okay, and for the other side, I'm gonna be using my Spectrum brush, the AO2 brush. It's just like a flat foundation kabuki brush. I'm gonna do 1.5 pumps. I'm gonna pick it up on the brush and just place it on my face and then blend it out. So far, I'm liking it better with the sponge, just because when I'm blending it out, I feel like it's kind of, when I'm blending it out with the brush, I feel like it's kind of sitting on, sorry, I'm like looking this way because my mirror's right here. But I feel like it's kind of sitting kind of oddly on top of the products that I had underneath. Like you could see the primer. There's like the primer and then the foundation sitting on top. I don't know if you can see. Let me just zoom in and try to shoot. What the fuck was that? Oh, it was a ring. I'm gonna try to show you, but I don't know if you'll be able to see. So obviously I have texture here, but I feel like you can see like a sort of film. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go back in with the blender and go over my cheek areas and any areas that I feel like I need more coverage, because I do feel like this is very buildable. It's very thin. It feels really nice on the skin. So formula, really nice. It's looking really good. I do want to see how it's going to lay underneath the rest of my like products. But so far, so good. I like it. I just know that I need a new shade, which is fine. I'll get a new shade. Probably going to get 120 underneath this. It's a little bit more neutral, not as yellow. So as you can see, I'm a lot more pink under here, but I am wearing like a sweater today that's like really high up. So hopefully people don't really notice, but so far I'm really liking the formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and okay guys, this is the finished look. Let me just show you up close. I feel like I should move the camera a little bit up. This is the finished look. I really liked how everything just laid on top of this foundation. The foundation didn't like move around, or like, how do I say this? The coverage didn't go down when I was building on top of it. It just stayed flawless. It's not super matte, which I like. I like how there's still a little bit of luminosity. You could still see like the luminosity under your skin, but it does cover really well. I'm really excited to see how this foundation is going to wear throughout the day. I just decided how throughout the day I'm going to check in and show you guys how this foundation wears throughout the day. Right now it is 11:38. I'll probably check in around 2 o'clock. We'll see. And then after my last class, which is like about 4:30 or 5. So I'll check in about twice, and I'm really excited about this foundation. I do have to get a new color, but that's about it. Other than that, I'm really in love with it. I'll show you guys how this goes throughout the day. See you later. So I've been wearing this foundation for about 2.5 hours, I think. Yeah, it is about 2:05 right now. It is 2:05 right now. And this is what it looks like. You can see it's kind of like breaking around my nose, but it hasn't even like cracked around my mouth. I don't have any frown lines, which usually always happens with like every other foundation I've ever used. Usually by now I'd have to blot my nose and then powder it because my nose gets really oily. But I think it's wearing super well. It still feels really lightweight. It doesn't transfer, and I barely like set it with the powder. So far so good. I'm really liking it, and it's not like I've been sweating or like walking around or doing a bunch of stuff, but it is staying put the way that I would want it to. So I'm really liking this, and I'll do one more check-in later today. I also wanted to mention that people have been saying that it does oxidize, but to be honest, I can't tell if it's oxidized or if it's just the shade that was already a little bit darker for me. On camera, I look really white because I am in front of a... See, that's better. Now you can see a little bit better. I feel like the shade has oxidized a teeny tiny bit, but in comparison to other foundations like the Estee Lauder Double Wear, that's the only one I can think of right now, it does oxidize so much. This one, I feel like doesn't oxidize that bad. I feel like it's still looking pretty good. The color's not dramatically different. I know that I need a lighter color, but as far as people saying it oxidizes a lot, I don't think it does. Okay guys, I'm back. Right now, let me check what time it is. Right now, it is 5:06, so it's been about another 2 hours. And I'm still really liking how this foundation's looking. The only thing is that I zoomed it in really close. You guys, this is something I'm not really comfortable with, but I wanted to show you exactly how it was wearing around my nose. That's like the only problem area right there. Do you see how it's like breaking and cracking and getting kind of like oily around my nose? But that is because I do have an oily like nose area. Other than that, around the face, it hasn't transferred, hasn't cracked, hasn't moved. It stayed put. It's just the nose area, but that is something I could deal with. I can try different methods because I am really liking this foundation so far. And so far it hasn't oxidized any further, but it's been wearing really well. The weather's been really like changing today. It was kind of warm in the morning and then it became kind of cold, and now it's like pretty windy and cold, and my face usually dries out really badly throughout the day. So that hasn't happened and it hasn't affected the foundation. So I think it's looking pretty good. It's just, like I said, around the nose, and it's really breaking around the nose and like pore area. Other than that, it looks pretty good. So I think I'll check in right before I take it off just to show you guys how it looks right before I take it off. Okay guys, so it is about 8 o'clock now. I am going to take this off. It's still at the same place with the nose area. As you could see, let me just zoom in a little bit. So still pretty crusty around the nose area. But that is also because I have not set my nose the entire day. And I usually have to, like I said, blot and powder. So I'm actually really impressed with this foundation. I think this foundation will be a going out foundation for sure, if not an everyday foundation. Also, like I said, I have to get a new color because you could see now that I'm not wearing that super high neck sweater that I was wearing before, you could actually see the color difference. So I think I'm gonna go down to 120, if not 110, but I think mixing 120 and 110 can give me like a good color. I get really pale during the winter and it's almost winter time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I would suggest you guys go down to Sephora and get a sample. That's what I always like to do, but I just wanted to go out and buy it this time before I film the video. So if you guys enjoyed, like and thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and comment down below the videos you want to see. I know I'm not on here often, but I do take your recommendations. See you guys next time. Bye.